Morning, Abotai. A few days ago, we spoke about the permission to start a melacha before Shabbat, even if that melacha continues into Shabbat. The example we gave is that if a person turns on the sprinkler system in the lawn before Shabbat, he can let it now continue into Shabbat, and that's not a problem. We brought a machlokah with regards to a mill, but in general, it's perfectly permissible. Maran Zichron Livracha discusses a situation. Let's say a person has a fax machine. Is a person allowed to leave on his fax machine or any other machine or device, answering machine, so that it receives fax or messages or whatever it is on Shabbat, or is there a chovah to turn it off? So La'alacha, Maran Zichron Livracha writes that it's really the same thing. A person may leave the fax machine on, even if faxes come in during Shabbat. Nevertheless, it is permissible for a person to leave it on. Even in a situation, he says, what happens if the person who's sending you a fax, especially in Israel, can happen that the person who's sending you a fax or an email or a message on the machine is a Jew. So maybe I should turn it off in order to protect him from doing an act of Chilul Shabbat. Says Maran Zichron Livracha, he says, I can't actively cause him to be Mechalel Shabbat, but we don't have an obligation to set forth in actions to protect other people from Chilul Shabbat. That's already his issue. And therefore, I can leave on my machines, I can leave on my computer, and if something comes in, I'll read it after Shabbat. For that reason, Maran Zichron Livracha says, it is permissible for a Jew in Israel on his Motzei Shabbat to send a fax or an email to a Jew in America when it's still Shabbat, and vice versa. A Jew in America, once Shabbat has started in Israel, as long as it's not Shabbat here, you can send a fax or an email to a Jew in Israel for them to read it on Motzei Shabbat, unless if you're concerned that the person is not so Shabbat observant and he might come to read it or to open it or to do some sort of melacha as a result on Shabbat, then be'emet, you wouldn't be able to send it over there, because then you would technically be putting a stumbling block for him to be mechalin Shabbat. Then you'd have to abstain from doing that on Shabbat. Certainly, you wouldn't be able to call somebody on when, let's say in America, when it is not yet Shabbat here. If it's Shabbat in Israel, bevadai, you're not allowed to call somebody in Israel when it's already Shabbat over there. Have a wonderful day.